Hi, my name is Mike. Is this thing recording? It is good. And you don't know me from Adam. However, I do have a concern that may well be a concern for all of us in the schoolie community. I hate to do, it makes me uncomfortable to do the credential dump thing that TikTokers, YouTubers do. But in this case, it may be warranted. For the last 30 years, I did autopsies, both clinical and forensic. 15 years of that was on the ambulance. 15 years of that was on the fire truck, and I started van life in 2007. Started watching the videos in 2017, and then in 2019 started out with tiny houses, and then as a photographer, it moved on to school van life because I wanted to be able to travel to the pictures. And 2019, I bought a Class B Ford Bravo, an '88 Ford Bravo Class B RV, which eventually rolled in Winslow, Arizona, going down the highway at 60 miles an hour. Rolled over. It's a little scary. But I learned a lot from both those previous years of experience in EMS, healthcare, the funeral service, and things like that. I owned a funeral transport service. But it also, I learned a lot from watching my RV roll down the road. And when I went to pick up, a few months later, when I went to pick up my school bus in Denver, Colorado, and drive it to Albuquerque, I couldn't help but immediately notice all the safety features. I hadn't been on a bus since 1988, Eatontown, Monmouth Regional High School. And it was the only time I had ever ridden a bus in my school career. But as an adult, it's the first time I'd ever been back on a bus. I had even considered and tried to get my CDL with a school bus company. It's going to eat up a lot of time, though. But the safety features were evident immediately to me. And then I compared what I saw in my bus and everybody else's bus, for that matter, because it's a federal standard. And I noticed things right away, that everybody covers maybe 5 to 10% of every window, every one of the little side windows, or removes them entirely and replaces them with RV windows that are up high, like a foot higher than anybody in the bus. And they cover any of the emergency exit, the emergency exit windows that pop out. The back door is almost always, almost 100% of the time in every video, covered with a queen size bed. How much time are you going to spend in the bed, really, honestly? That's just a personal gripe. However, every bus has that hallway with the queen bed at the back. Every bus. Watch every video over again. Hallway, queen bed. Hallway, queen bed. Hallway, queen bed. Covered windows, either removed completely or covered with trim. Now, I understand that it's a give between being able to heat and cool or being able to escape. And that's my point. You should be able to, from the start of a fire or an accident, a rollover, anything like that, be able to be away from that bus in 7 seconds, 10 to 20 feet away. And with certain fires, that's not enough. But I've seen the vast majority of school bus builds, what they do is they block off every exit except for that one folding door that's 40 feet away down that hallway. And that's, I mean, when you're trying to get anywhere from I've seen 9 people living on a bus, up to 10 feet away, and waking them all up and getting them outside, or getting everybody unbuckled and getting them outside when possibly a wrecked vehicle is pinned up against that door, or a tree is pinned up against that door, or the bus is on its side, and all those emergency exit vents are now covered over with metal or plexiglass and aren't safe to exit anymore. Those are some of the concerns that I have. And because of that, I've changed the way I was going to build. I didn't really have any hard expectations for a build. I didn't draw anything out beforehand. I knew I needed to have the bus with me to build what I wanted. And one of the things that was the biggest changing factor in any plans that I had was the fact that there are 2 pop-out emergency exits right there that need to be left clear. and need to be unobstructed. There is a big back exit door that needs to be left clear, that needs to be left unobstructed. There are a lot of safety features on that bus that need to be dug into by us far more. And I would even say I wanted to go get my CDL and work for a school bus company for a little while, but time-wise, it just wasn't there. I have a lot of other stuff to do. But to pay a bus driver $500 on a Saturday to come and teach you enough to be safe, or to tell you, advise you on how your bus build, where the good parts are and where the bad parts are, to pay a home inspector $200 to come out and take a look and take some notes and tell you what he thinks is going to work and what he thinks is not going to work, because it's kind of a pain in the butt to have a home inspector come to your sticks and brick house and say, oh, this window's not big enough. But the point is, as a firefighter, you need to be able to get out of that window, get up, over, and out of that window and away from that house in 7 seconds. And that's what home inspectors do that for. That's what the fire marshal does that for. So to spot him $200 to come in and take a look at your build and say, okay, change this, change that, change that. He's not telling you to be mean. He's telling you because we can't get in. With my fire gear on, I'm 270 pounds, and I'm about 3 or 4 inches wider than I am right now, side to side, and I'm about 8 inches wider at the back with the oxygen tank. So I can't get in. If your bus is on its side, I can't get in to pull you out. You have to do what we call self-extricate and pull yourself out of the bus. And if I can't get to you, no firefighter is going to risk their own death in that manner. You know what I mean? Sometimes, and this is something that TV doesn't tell you about the fire department, sometimes we have to make the decision to, oh, that scene is not safe enough for me to enter, and I can't go in. And anybody in there is what we call on a black tarp. And these are scary ideas, but it's the truth. And when you're dealing with 10 tons rolling down the street and someone slams into your tire and you get one of those back dualies and flips that bus over on its side, how are we going to get everybody else out when that folding door is against the ground? So that's what all those exits are for. That's what all that's about. So I would honestly 100% give a CDL bus driver $500 for an afternoon on a Saturday. A home inspector, I'd give him $200 to come in and tell me what's wrong and what's right. I will, once I'm done building, or as I'm building. But it is a major concern of mine as an EMS provider that I be able to get you out of that bus in 7 seconds. Or you be able to get yourself out of that bus in 7 seconds. Because nothing's better when you get to scene, you get a call, you get to scene, and you pull up, you get some light on it, and this is just a thing that actually happened. It was a Toyota Corolla. It was like a 2015 Toyota Corolla. Rolled down the embankment on a highway, flipped over, and was just a mangled mess. And was, oh crap! And I was on the ambulance, so I had no rescue gear, I had nothing. So we get the side lights on, and we look into this car, and it's an absolute disaster, and there's nobody in it. Where are all the people? Oh, they got ejected. Oh, nobody wears seatbelts anymore. Crap. And then we heard somebody behind us. Hey, hey, hey. It was a guy. And he had just gotten out of prison, and his family went to pick him up. And the thing rolled over. Boom, ka-boom, 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 ka-boom. Grandma, 3 kids, pregnant wife, and the guy that just got out. All fine. They were sitting over there in the dark, watching us, not saying anything. And we were like, we were on the radio like, oh my God, please send more help, please send more help. They were all fine. The pregnant wife had a laceration on her leg from something that was in the center console, and that was it. She had like a little tiny cut on her leg, that was it. But that's because the safety features weren't defeated in the vehicle. But once you start to defeat safety features, that changes the outcome.